Just a little more than 2 months ago, K-Texas brought you the exclusive story of a tax loophole that some wealthy homeowners are using to avoid paying school property taxes. We did some digging and found out a big country couple is taking advantage of that loophole in Brown County, and it's costing the May Independent School District about $8,000 a year. Here's how they did it. The couple lived over a year in a very inexpensive home. They then transferred their homestead exemption of $0 on that home to the much more expensive home that they built. It was all perfectly legal. We continue to follow this story, and in a special report tonight, we hear from the chief Taylor County tax appraiser, who says our story prompted quite a response from taxpayers who want something done. Many in the finance and accounting industry are calling for change over a Texas-sized tax loophole, and they aren't the only ones.
Oh, we probably had somewhere in the range of 50 calls or so. Not a lot of calls, but at the same time, for that kind of response and that kind of story, I think it shows that people were interested. And for everyone that calls, there's probably 100 that thought that this was a terrible situation that needed fixed. Most people are just incised by the idea of someone escaping from $8,000 a year in property taxes.
Chief Taylor County tax appraiser Richard Petrie says people haven't been shy about their opposition to a glitch in the tax law that allows certain people to be exempt from paying expensive school property taxes for life. Petrie now says it's time to take the next step.
People just need to know when someone is doing that, to get it stopped, and so that it won't continue to happen. Because if it continues to happen and all of these other systems fall on their face, then we'll end up without the revenue necessary for the education of our children, or streets, or fire protection, or police protection. And I think we have the attention of the legislature now.
Well, you can always pull that back.
That they do. State Representative Susan King says she's working with Petrie to craft the language to hopefully get this loophole closed in the next legislative session.
Really, the only way we know how to correct something that's going on is if the people come to us. We don't sit in our towers and think, I wonder how that's working. We might, but more than likely, it's from a regular, interested or concerned citizen that brings this to our attention. So we're more than happy to work on this.
Unfortunately, even if or when the law is changed, the damage for some schools will already be done.
For those people who have this already in place, it can't be changed. So you can't retroactively go back and modify the law. So they're going to get that benefit.
Something King calls sad, and says it's only more reason why things need to change.
It's an eyes wide open thing for all school districts to be aware of, and I do think it does need a legislative remedy. There's opportunities, and this is the best time to do it. And if something has a low bill number, sometimes these things can get passed and gotten out of committee and passed both houses pretty quickly. The beauty of knowing about this now is that people can work on it, we can let people know about it, and it has a much better chance.
So what about May ISD? We wanted to know how they feel about this issue. In a statement, they told us, the superintendent, that is, Don Rhodes, told us, "I am hopeful that the next Texas legislative session will address this important issue." In Texas school districts, state funding was significantly reduced for 2 years during the last Texas legislative session. Every dollar is important in these times.